everybody's choice.
So let me show you the two examples we're going to do code today and or partially on Monday. We're going to do the example with the data JSON.html. And so these images and the text down here, they actually load with JSON. And we're going to code this example. If you can see here, this is the HTML of the page, so there is nothing there. So this all gets loaded from the JSON file. And the second example, we're going to do, let me copy it so I can run it for you. But it's not from the book. We're going to use the Flickr API and JSON. See if it will run from here.
It says recording, right?
We're trying to, if it doesn't, I restarted the recording. All right, so this is, when you click on a button here, it's going to load live in real time Flickr images with a specific tag. And as you can see, people, this is the birds, so people, you know, potentially uploading as we speak. So every time you click the button, it gets those images. So these are the two examples we're going to do today. Also, you should know that sometimes the examples, they don't work very well on the local machine, unless you have a local server, which most of you probably don't. For example, the first example we're going to do, it doesn't seem to work for me in Chrome, but it works in Firefox. So just be aware. Okay, let's get started. So this time I actually isolated the starter code because it's just too complicated to explain. So please download from week 10 data JSON ex-starter code.7zip. And I have also zipped up the solution. So if you need to reference it later, you have the full solution as well. So data JSON ex-starter code.7zip. Download. Extract. You have to pop it open. So click on here.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You probably also, you may need to add it to your Google Drive. So click on the button. Yeah. Anyway, you want to place mine on desktop. It's up to you. And then we're going to open this folder, the unzipped folder. Yeah, both of those. Okay, so we have the CSS for week 8. We have some images we're going to use, and we have the data.json file. So that's what that looks like. It has the events and the key value pairs are for the locations, for the date, and for the map, which is going to display a PNG file. All right? And we need to add our HTML and our JavaScript to work with the JSON file. Yes, sir.
How do you download the code from the file?
Have you opened these?
Let me see. So, can you pause this and go back to the... I don't think so. That's why it turns out that you actually don't have to add it to your drive. If you just pop out the, I guess the dialog, then it will let you save. Now you can click on the button. Okay? So you need to click on the button. itself. Okay.
You downloaded it.
Did you, is that,
I'm holding it down.
yeah, so this is the 7-zip file which you need to unzip. You need to right click on it and say 7-zip. Can we run this extract files?
Yeah, I just went around and then there was a download link when I went in my
This one to, you see where it put it? You drive? So you do now.
So but there's two, right?
Yeah, the one you wanted was the starter code. This is the one you got now?
Not a zip though, it's
No, guys, those 7Z is a special type of zip. This is the zip file, the compression file and instruction is installed on those machines. So just right click and say 7-zip extract files. If that was you, maybe this is Mac.
Well, I've done, oh, tell me what happens, I've done it 10 times.
But you probably don't have 7-zip because you're on the
Right, exactly.
Apparently there is some free version of that that you can grab, but right now it's going out of time. I guess I can give you the file. Hard drive maybe. Because we're busy. I'm sure what's
So then I see all the instructions. I hit okay. Not right. So should we,
Okay, so let me see this. So this is just one of the files. You already have it, so yeah. This is the one to the starter code. I told you guys. So do you get the starter code? These are the yeah. And then you just right click extract file. And then open it in brackets.
And then I had to open it with an archive. You should have had those. I'm pretty sure mine was just
Let's try. So this kind of situation, I've been thinking a lot about it. When you go get jobs, it's going to be exactly this kind of situation where you're told to do something, you have no idea how to do it. And you actually have to research on the fly and figure out the steps. So just use maybe opportunity to practice problem solving. Let's see. So
Yeah, big lot of information in OneNote, and here is it. They just provide the link, and you have to search.
that's right.
We always do that,
It's
but
overwhelming, actually.
then we have
Lots
Started
of-
with practice. I mean, the more you practice problem solving, the better you
Yeah,
get at it.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you have to practice problem solving. And I almost feel like I'm not doing enough of it in this
But they
class.
see the amount of information.
Oh, yeah, no, that's.
It's like a lot.
Okay.
A lot,
So
really
you
a
can
lot.
just let me do this so I don't disturb.
Yes. I have a program called the Unarchiver. It's like the time that just figure out like
Oh, yeah.
days or weeks.
That's what it's called. This picture is what it's called.
So then you can.
I just updated on
modify
my
it and show
PC,
up.
I'm gonna try some Mac. Yeah,
You
the
can do it
file.
modify it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I have it.
Copy this file here.
I just unzipped it, I
Wait,
marked it,
I should
and
get
then just after the
Second
mark.
page.
No, it doesn't have the same file.
So let me check this place and I'll just.
Well, the thing is this, like, we don't have to show later with something like that. Yeah.
I'm going to look at.
See, here's one I was looking at, this may or may not
It would have to be a 7-zip file for a Mac. I don't know which one. I haven't researched it. But someone told me there is such a thing.
Okay.
So let's do this here.
So it's not just inherently on
Okay, well, I found something that'll work.
I think you change the path.
Okay, so here's one more time. Okay, I have it from you.
Oh,
I did.
Oh, good, great.
So we just so you know, it's not the starter code, it's the finish. So you just have to essentially, write over the JavaScript.
So this I'll just merge. I'll keep it on yours though.
So both these entire folders show up, or just in our file. So like,
But I haven't. It's in the process of really good.
Did I tell you one time in one of my classes I was using my flash drive, which has a lot of important files for students to share some file, and someone somehow managed to just delete. It turns out they cut everything. So then my TA comes and said, "Your flash drive is now empty." I was like, "No, you're joking me, right?" I was about to start crying, but it turned out that someone had just cut the entire content of the flash drive on the
put it
clipboard. So we just started from there.
that means
So it wasn't totally gone.
So now I'm always supervising this.
Yes, you don't want to let anything go. So I'm rejecting it now.
Yeah, anyone on a Mac, I got it to unzip with a freeware program called the Unarchiver.
I almost use
It's a
that.
good program
Well,
to have just generally.
there you go. It's not there anymore. Thank you. I know it's
So it's funny, these two files, you want to put them in brackets, like are they gonna merge?
Which two files? So,
So we have the data JSON X and the data JSON X starter code.
well, no, the X contains the solution, so we're not working from that. When you finish working with the starter code, your files will look the same as the solution. The reason we put a solution is in case someone is not here, they couldn't follow along or something like that. Okay. So anyway, go ahead and start in the same folder now. We're going to add our HTML file, which is pretty minimal, and then our JavaScript file, and should be able to test this in Firefox.
So it's not the HTML file that you have sitting here. The Figure API with JSON.
Did you download the starter code?
I downloaded the starter code. All I needed was that it was stuck into that I needed. So like that was code, that code, that code.
Okay, well, if you downloaded the starter code, you should not have the HTML.
Okay.
But if you do, then I guess just follow along here. So I'm going to save this file as data.json.html. So again, the starter code only contains the CSS, the JSON file, and the images. And now we're adding .html. If for some reason you have HTML or JS file in there, who has HTML and JS file in there? Anyone? If you do, this means you downloaded the solution instead of the starter code.
Oh,
So you can follow
I
along.
guess. Right.
So do it again or follow along as you like. All right.
Yeah,
I'll save yours to the other.
So you guys have downloaded the solution. Okay, in any case.
No, I downloaded, there was a
Yeah,
document.
that's something to do. Yeah, I downloaded that too.
This is probably the next example.
Create another folder to do your homework for your assignment,
Can you change
and then
this
keep
name?
both.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys, I'm going to show this example, and you can do it with me, or if you already have downloaded it, just follow. You can save it as JSON1, that's fine. Save as JSON1, and then you have two versions. All right. Okay, so that's our loading JSON example. Okay. And then body. No. H2. Would you say JSON example, JSON loading example? And then we're only going to have a section. And again, it can be a div, but a section with an ID of content. And this is where we will be loading our data from JSON. And we're just going to add a script tag. The source is going to equal to a file which we haven't created yet. And that's all for the HTML. Loading. All right. Okay, so then new file, save as. We need to add, let's see, where is the starter code? So we're going to add a JS folder. And in the JS folder, we're going to save our data.json.js. Right. All right. So then we're going to create a variable xhr, which is equal to new XML HTTP request. So we're creating the object that I showed you in the beginning of the class. And then we're going to call methods and properties on this object. We're going to say xhr, which is the name of the object, dot unload is going to equal to a function. If xhr.status is equal to 200, if the server status was okay. We probably need to comment this out when we run this locally. We'll have to try it and see. It might work in Firefox. But if the server status was okay, then we're going to have a response object. It's going to equal to json.parse xhr.response text. So here we're going to receive the JSON. We're going to receive the JSON object as response text. This will be the information, the data from the JSON file I showed you earlier.
So the comment is this, that will be the data
Yeah, so parse the JSON data. That probably is a good comment. And so this is actually not the worst part I think, in my opinion, the most tedious part of the whole process is how you have to construct the HTML, the HTML, so you can render the content. So we're about to start doing this. So you can add a comment here. Build up a string with content. So we're going to have a variable new content. Yeah.
You're missing a curly brace somewhere.
Probably.
You're missing an ending brace.
Yeah, I guess from here. Huh? Let's see. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. So variable new content is going to start as an empty string. And next we're going to loop to the object. So when we called parse here, we converted the text that we received to JavaScript, and now we have an object. And so we're now looping through the object. So for variable I equals 0, I less than response object dot events dot length I plus plus. So we had, I think we had 2 or 3 events, and so each event is going to be an index with an index in this object, and by doing this loop, we're going to iterate to the events in our file, and then we're going to construct the content to display in the HTML page by adding to the empty string new content additional data that we got from the JSON file. Does this make sense conceptually? Mm-hmm. So we're getting data from this file, and then in the JavaScript, this is where we got this is the line that got us the data from the file, and now we are going to create a string in JavaScript which will display in the HTML. All right. So we're going to say new content is equal to, plus equal, because we will be adding on, right? We keep on adding on. A div plus equals event. And this event doesn't refer to an event like a click. This actually refers to the events as the name of the event. So it happens that our JSON data is events, so that's what it refers to. Okay? And then new content plus equals image source so this is response object dot events of I dot map. Single quotes, double quotes, semicolon.
That's the better.
I'm sorry?
Oh, never mind.
So we created a div, and then we're adding an image in HTML, which is going to get the image from the map key with index of I in the events object.
Spaces, no. Like I did last time, for example.
This should be all white space. Yes, Julian?
Do you need a
Quote.
clause between before the response object?
Yeah, you need to, actually you do. Because you're concatenating, so thank you. So you need to pause here.
Yeah, but outside.
Outside of the string, correct. Right there. Thank you. Yeah.
Even more quote. Single
No.
quote.
I think the quotes are okay.
Huh?
This is 2 double
We're
quotes,
missing a single
2
quote.
single.
We need
Missing
one
one.
more single quote outside.
Yep.
Okay.
So, right, so the entire content is in a single quote, and then the image source has double and single quotes around it. Yeah, so that's why this is pretty tedious, right? It's very prone to error. But let's finish it and then you can troubleshoot if it doesn't work. We just have a few more lines. So let's work through it and then you can test it. So then we continue. New content is going to equal plus equal alt is equal to double quote, single quote plus double quote, single quote plus response object dot events of I dot location plus single double close the opening tag and semicolon.
Why is that different?
Because that's the alt text, and it's actually finishing the image SRC. Like that's the closing tag for image SRC.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, we just have to import it as two different objects. Oh, with PHP and steroids.
Only 3 more lines of this nature. So
20?
No.
20. 43. All right. And then next, new content plus equals. Make sure to add a plus, otherwise it will
Plus
override the
equal.
content. Right, plus equal. And then a paragraph. And then a B
Tag,
plus response object dot events of I dot location plus slash B and then a break semicolon. So now we are going to display the location. This is why we are using it again. The first time we used the location to fill in the alternate tag in case the image didn't load, and this is going to display it on the page. And finally, we're going to display the date. Response object dot events of I dot date. And then we're going to close the paragraph. And finally, we're going to close the div.
now close the P tag. Here. Did not open the P tag.
Right here.
Okay. From the first one. Just use P tag.
I was wondering that. Could you chain these together?
Well, they're concatenating, so that's how they're not methods. So you're actually concatenating a string.
So that's the wrong word. Could you put all of these in one content?
Well, that's what exactly we're doing because we're doing plus equal. So we declare the variable, and then inside lines 13 through 9 through 20, we have been adding on to the existing content, and that's why it's going to display all of it.
And it's just so we don't go like off the page. We could, couldn't we?
Because you type new content 6 times, that's what I'm asking. Can you type it once and put all this in?
Yeah, but that would be very hard to read.
Yeah,
You certainly could,
for sure.
for sure. Right. I don't know if I'll take this approach, but you could.
Yeah.
All right. So Okay, so before we continue with the codes, just to make sure that I want to show you again the JSON file. And take a look here. We have an array with the name events. And in the array, we have 1, 2, 3 events. So they're going to be with index 0, 1, and 2 in our loop. And then the properties are going to be the location, the date, and the map. And this is what we have done here. We have created a for loop through the array, through the object. And then we have accessed the properties for each index, okay? And so this is in the for loop, and we constructed our content string, and now we're going to place this content inside the element with the ID of content in the HTML page. So this will happen with the document. Yeah.
Are all these files kept in one folder together, or do we need a script folder, or how?
We have organized our files, if you take a look here. So you have the project folder, and then in the project folder you have a CSS, JS image, and now data. So it's common for the data file to be put in a data folder. So that's the organization I would recommend. So if you have put it somewhere else, then that's not a problem. And I can show you where that matters. This is actually going to matter when we open the file in the next line. So go ahead and continue writing with us, and then I'll take a look at your file structure in a moment. All right, so then we're going to get, so which element are we putting the content in? Content. And this was our section. And then inner HTML, because we have all these tags, is equal to new content. And this is an anonymous function, so I'm putting a semicolon at the end of it here. So we have closed 3 sets of, oops. I believe we have 3 sets of curly braces, right?
Yeah. We do, yeah.
And then, so all this code only happens if we actually succeeded. So this was in the if statement. Now we're going to say xhr.open. And we're using get. And now this is the name of the file. And so star and everyone else, this is where it matters where you put your JSON file.
I just lost everything, so we gotta watch the video again.
Okay, I'll take a look actually in a moment. But if you follow the steps, your JSON file is in a folder called data. So this is where you're going to say data/data.json. And then the third parameter is going to be the third argument rather, the true, which means we want to use asynchronous processing.
Is the data is my folder?
Yeah, data should be the name of your folder.
Oh.
When you download the zip file, you should have this data folder. If you put it in the same place, then you just have to take out, you just put data.json and that should work. Right. Okay, and then finally you're sending the request, so you're going to say xhr.send, and we don't have any arguments, so no. And so if we manage to not make any typos here, or if I managed while talking, this should work to test. I don't think it will work from brackets. I'll try it. Actually, let me just test it in the way I know it worked earlier.
Don't we still have to call the file under HTML? I don't think we finished doing that.
Oh yeah, we need to put a name. Thank you.
No worries.
So in the source here, we need to call our file. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. So save all. So we needed to call the JavaScript file from the HTML.
So where did you grab this right away?
So if you just, when you have the source like this and you just put a quote, it's going to allow you to just click through and find it. So it will assist you. All right, so let me test this, and if it works, then I'll give you some time to finish, but
But
one
not
second.
same.
So
Yeah, this is here.
where did I put this?
Yeah, so that's fine.
No, it's not working.
It's not working for
Java.
you? Okay, hang on.
So you see, we have to upload it. Let me try. I see that.
Where did I put my starter code? Must be in downloads.
Desktop.
Huh. Where is this? Users open desktop. Okay. Users open desktop. Here it is.
Quick.
Should show like JSON loading like this.
So the JSON.
So what shows text?
So access is restricted. So this doesn't work in Firefox here either. I think we might not be able to view. Let's try with Chrome.
They were.
I think we finished.
Same.
I'm comment this out.
Ping. JavaScript. Yeah. Okay, okay.
Double quotes.
So we get access denied. I don't think we're going to be able to test this, unfortunately, locally. But what would happen is I'll show you again on the server. It worked in my office, but if you so this is what it would look like if it worked. Essentially, the images, the name of the event, and the date was the data we picked up from JSON and displayed in the content. Okay, so I would encourage you to try running this on your at home. Save it and run it, and then if you get some other errors, you can work through them. But that should work. Maybe just not in the lab, unfortunately. Right?
Let's try it online.
So you can still probably see if you're getting any errors other than access denied.
Huh.
ING. Where is the information?
I'm gonna upload myself to the
Yeah, the data is just the data. It's like the image.
No, I don't have to work remotely. Something is wrong with my throat.
Okay. Well, I really wanted us to do the. I don't know if we can rush and do the Flickr in 8 minutes. Probably.
I think we're okay. We got an example there.
I'll just show you the code and we'll do it next time. All right. So I have uploaded the code for the Flickr API in. You can actually just run it maybe. Go ahead and copy the code Flickr API with JSON. All right. Guys, so if you want to work with me on the next, so you can get something working, follow my directions, please. Open code Flickr API with JSON in week 10. Select all. Copy all the code. And then open a new HTML file and paste here, or save as flickerex.html. And so what we'll do is we'll just review the code, and then we're going to run it, and this should work without problems. I don't know if it works from brackets, but it should work. Yeah. Okay, so it even works from brackets. Okay. So after you save the file, when you try clicking on the button, then you should see feed of images from Flickr. And let's take a look at the code here. So it's the same idea. We have a container, which is a div, and this is where we're going to place the code. We have a button. When you click the button, it calls a function that actually does all the work. And the function get JSON data depends. You have to have jQuery included, and you also have to have the actual Flickr API. So you can Google for this API and research online, but here it is. And the Flickr API allows you, by calling it with the jQuery get JSON method, to essentially easily get images from Flickr. And here is where you specify the tags, the mode, and the format. So we want the JSON format, and we're looking for birds in this case. So if you change this even right now to like bees or flowers, whatever you like, or robots, then we should immediately expect to see
Oh, that is cool.
the proper.
Yeah.
Didn't
I like
work
it.
for me.
So here's, for example,
Whatever.
it does. All right, and then also you have an argument whether it succeeded. So if the get JSON succeeded, then for each of the results you're going to essentially create an image. As you can see here, we're constructing it again,
The image tag.
and then appending it to the container. So that's the jQuery way, which is obviously much easier to do, but it's similar. And also you can specify how many images you want to return at a time. We can say 5 or 3, and that's where this number is set from. So that's a more practical, I guess, use for, I don't know, it's from 0, so it's 4 actually. Okay, so that's our second example. And then if it fails, then you can call a fail function, which is going to actually alert with an error message if something went wrong, if the network maybe failed. So that's what I have to show you as an example of AJAX and JSON with JavaScript and jQuery. It was a lot, right? Okay, any questions or comments?
Thank you so much.
What is your question?
I don't know.
But I do encourage you, if you have the time, try running the example with the events on your home machine and see if it works, or at least see what error message you're getting. Okay, I'll turn off the recording, and it looks like it's still going, so you can also refer to the recording here.